So now I want you to close your eyes for a second. And I want you to imagine a world where men and women have like the same view towards dating and sex, where the women are just as horny as the men and they're not any more selective or anything like that. Think of a world where basically the dynamic between men and women is the same as the dynamic with gay men, where those of whom want to be promiscuous can just get it whenever, and it's not harder for one group over the other. Now, thinking about this world, that sounds like a utopia, doesn't it? Certainly sounds like one to me. So, how do we make such a thing happen? Well, maybe some people will think that it's biological and that women, are inherently different than men in that aspect. And so that is why they're, more selective and so on and so forth. But what I really is that we're just hating on the hose too much. We are hating on the hose too much. And we gotta stop. We gotta stop, okay? Because what we need is more hose, not less. Not less, no, not less at all, as a matter of fact. Think about it this way. A lot of people like to talk about hypergamy. Is that a thing? Kind of. I don't really think it's that much of a thing. I think people like overplay it, and like the whole hypergamy graph is not actually accurate at all. But women do tend to have much higher standards than men when it comes to hookups. That is true. That is true. I myself have hooked up with a morbidly obese woman. I don't imagine that many women would drunkenly hook up with like a 300-pound like Reddit mod just because they're horny, Like, I don't imagine that would happen much, if at all, really. And if the girl is like that, then she's probably not a good looker herself, you know? So I don't imagine that would happen much, But the reason for this is because women are shamed so much for being hoes, okay? This is the truth. If a woman wants to hook up with a guy, she's got to think about the fact that that just adds another number to her body count. And that decreases her value to a lot of men because, we got the slut shamers out there. And so she's generally only going to want to hook up with the guy who is quite a catch, She's only going to want to hook up with a guy if she sees that as worth it because he's a very good looking man. But that is because she stands to lose a lot from a hookup. Whereas a man, not so much. I don't think men are quite shamed to their body counts to the same extent, So what do we do about this? We got to stop shaming the hoes, okay? We've got to stop doing that. It is becoming a serious problem, and I think the more hoes that we have, it's better, Yeah, I said this in a previous video, but I think this is a great point because think about like the era of like the sexual revolution and like Woodstock and shit and like those Grateful Dead concerts, like I had said, a lot of y'all's grandmas probably have a higher body count than some of the biggest 304s at ASU because they were over there hooking up with guys while they were high on acid at the fucking Grateful Dead concerts. And they were not slut shamed for it because that was an era of free love, peace and love, man, and I think that's a great attitude to have towards it. I think that's a great thing, And, people will say, oh, like, the higher your body count, like, you're going to have problems like pair bonding. That is not scientifically proven. And, as well, all of y'all's grandmas ended up marrying your grandpa and having some kids and staying together for decades. So, is it really a problem here, okay? No, it's not. So what we got to do is we got to stop shaming the hoes, okay? We need more hoes. Hoes are doing a service to the world, okay? Because, so many men are struggling to get laid, So many men are, we're not getting any pussy. And pussy is important. So many men are struggling. And the hoes are out there doing a service. So next time you see your local hoe, give her a pat on the back. Thank her for the work that she's doing. And, don't hate on her. Thank her for the work that she's doing because she's doing great things. Things for this world. She's doing great things indeed. I hope y'all have a good one. I hope you enjoyed this video, short little video, but it's something that needs to be talked about because we need more hoes, man. We need more hoes in this world. The hoes make the world go round. They make it a better place.